Welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and MPD by somebody that has both. So today I'd like to talk about supporting people with BPD, more specifically being friends with people with BPD. If you look at it like this, so my friend has BPD, what can I do? Well, short story, nothing but put up with a load of stuff. Okay, I think the best thing we can do is sort of prepare you for some of the common things that might come up, some of the things they might be going through and thusly put you through, and all that sort of thing. We have to start off by saying you only really have so much responsibility here to put up with stuff, right? I am not going to sit here and say that you should put up with absolutely anything and everything that your person with BPD may throw at you. You have to sort of look after yourself, and only you can decide where that boundary is. And if you're going to go through this, if you're going to go through this process and learn how to cope with being with a particular type of person who's going through something, you have to have these boundaries in place with regards to what you're willing to put up with. Because this can be a draining and emotionally hard thing for you to go through. And hurting you is not going to help anybody. It's not going to help you for a start, and it's not going to help the person that you're trying to be a friend to, because they don't want to hurt you. And doing it is going to upset them. It's really that straightforward. So you really much have to have your line in the sand that you aren't prepared to cross before you sort of continue with this. Now then, people with BPD are perfectly lovely people who are perfectly capable of having normal, healthy, loving relationships in many different ways and contexts. There's no guarantee that we are all a pain or all difficult to live with or whatever. Okay? However, there are a couple of big things that most of us tend to go through that are going to crop up for you. We'll start with the big one, which is sort of fear of abandonment, which is a very common trait that we all have, and it affects friendships especially. We're afraid you're going to leave us. We're afraid that you don't really want us to be there. We're afraid that we don't deserve a friend, that we don't deserve somebody looking after us, caring about us, all of that sort of thing. And so we're afraid that you're going to realize that too and leave. And to prevent you from doing that, we're going to do anything we can think of, anything that we deem to be necessary to keep you around. That might involve pleasing you in any way possible, always agreeing with you, always laughing at jokes, trying to buy you presents, trying to do everything with you. And then the clinginess of us always being there, always trying to be around, never letting you out of our sight. Now you can see how some of these things could be better or worse in different contexts. If the person that you're trying to deal with is your, I don't know, a romantic partner, then them being around all the time isn't necessarily a day-to-day bad thing. But you can see how that can crop up, because, you know, in every couple, somebody wants to go on a night out or do something with friends or do something that doesn't involve the other person. That's a normal, healthy relationship. And then things might start to show cracks and that sort of thing. I think the best thing to do, if you're supporting somebody who's going through that, is as far as possible be reassuring. If it can be acknowledged that it is a problem, if I can say to somebody, look, I really, a lot of the time I feel like I don't deserve to be here, like you guys are just putting up with me. And if these people can say, don't be so stupid, we love you to bits, we're not putting up with you, we want you here. It's important to us that you be here. It's a bit of a pain to get somebody to go through that, but I don't know. It's so reassuring. It so helps. And if people are your friends and care about you, then saying that to them, saying that to you isn't a difficult thing. I don't think we're generally as a society, particularly in Britain, we're not all that emotionally reassuring of our feelings towards our friends. I think we can have a tendency to keep that very quiet. And that kind of reassurance that you might get in other types of relationships would be very helpful to people with BPD. To say, look, you're my mate, come on. You know, that kind of thing. And to let them be reassured. I understand that after a while that can come across as clingy, but we're also hoping that your person with BPD is getting some help, and maybe that's going to go away. Because, look, direct them to the rest of my videos, please. I don't like the idea that anyone's just going to start putting up with BPD. We can talk through it. It's possible to deal with it and live with it. So I'm not tolerating anyone just sort of going, oh, well, this is how I am. You know, we can change that. Now, apart from the fear of abandonment, there's a couple of other things that might affect you. The rage comes to mind, and the splitting, where they decide you're now not their friend. You've done something, and look, this could be such an arbitrary non-thing. They've put you on a pedestal to start with, right? You know, the person with BPD might be favorite personing you. That could be a thing, but the splitting is when they decide, you know, something's either very, very good or very, very bad. We'll look at it more from a splitting. We'll come back to the favorite person point of view. The splitting can be annoying from the material ways it affects your day-to-day life when they haven't split on you, but they split on something else. So suddenly they won't go to that bar, to that nightclub. They're not going to see those films anymore. They're not going to, you know, there's so many things that are just garbage. And this can lead to us, look, getting into arguments, raging, getting really upset and distressed. And in those moments when we feel like that, there's very little that can talk us down. There's very little that can change our position on things. If we've decided we hate something, then we've decided we hate something. And this can lead to us being generally, I always felt with me, I became a very negative person. I became the kind of person that why would anyone want to talk to me and be friends with me? Because I had a friend who always came to me and was so excited that we shared a love of films. And if he'd seen something good, he always would come to me, hey, Rich, I've seen this movie. I loved it. To have a conversation with me, to be my friend, to talk about a shared common interest. And my response would always be, no, that film's it's rubbish. I don't want to see that. It's rubbish. Or words to that effect. And you realize you become this really unpleasant, negative, down person. Why should anybody be excited to see you when you're just splitting on everything and everything's rubbish? It takes a special kind of friend to persevere through that, to keep going, to be that positive force of energy for good, to keep you going. And I'm grateful to my friends that have done that. Very much so. And I like to think I'm now not a negative person. Dealing with that as a person with BPD, that's a whole other video. But it can be something that people have to put up with. The splitting in terms of the favorite person stuff, well, favorite personing is when a person with BPD loves you more than anything else in the entire universe ever. You're the most important thing that there could be. You're not just their favorite person, you're their favorite existing entity that is there. The most amazing thing that ever existed. And they will do anything to please you and be with you and think you're perfect. And when somebody has that purer view of you, it becomes a problem because you aren't that great. Nobody's that great, right? Inevitably, you are going to do something. There will be some behaviors from you that don't fit with this view of you being the embodiment of perfection. Who's to say what that's going to be? It could be anything, because we're all human. And when you've been favorite personed, then your person with BPD has got this whole image of you in their mind, and you don't know what it is. You don't know how you differ from that in real life, and you could put a foot wrong in any way. And when that happens, things come tumbling down because suddenly you break their reality bubble, and you aren't that embodiment of perfection that they thought you were, and it's very easy to then just split on you and think that you're awful. And the only advice I can give you in that scenario is to be understanding and somewhat forgiving as far as you can be. I mean, look, the reaction of a person with BPD splitting on you when you're their favorite person might be mild, but it might be extreme. And what you can forgive and put up with and deal with is, again, down to you. But they don't mean it, if that's any help. It's not you they're angry at. It's this whole situation that they're going through. Right down to why they needed a favorite person in the first place. They needed someone in their life to support them emotionally in that way, to be that figurehead for them, that guiding light, that thing to aspire to be. They needed that. There's something missing. There's something wrong there. And so when they split on you, when you turn out not to be that thing that they thought they needed, that's very upsetting. That's very distressing. And it comes out in rage and shouting in God knows what. And that you know, they don't mean it. It's distress. It's a cry for help. It's upset inside them, not at you. But you're not obliged to sit there and take it. And if you're trying to convince somebody that they shouldn't have split on you, you're onto a loser straight away. You cannot do that. When they split on you, it's because they've got their reasons, and you cannot break those. You cannot get past those. So you just have to live with it. Take a step back, move away from the situation, not move house. But giving them that space to calm down and come to the right conclusions on their own over time is all you can do. And that might be very upsetting to you. You might effectively lose a friend there, because I don't know how long it's going to take them to unsplit on you. There's still people I split on years ago that I'm no closer to getting over right now. And I've done the therapy. And I'm still in a mode of, no, not that person. And I've got my reasons. To me, they're perfectly good, and there's nothing I can be told that will make me change them. I just have to be given time to calm down and look at a situation on my own and come back to it when I'm ready, when I feel it's time, when I feel it's necessary or the right thing to do. And nothing can force that along. But for somebody who it's being fired at, that's very upsetting. That's very frustrating, and it takes time to fix things. So those are some of the things that you're going to need to look out for. I hope that's helpful. And if you have anything else that you might want to talk about like that, or any other suggestions of supporting somebody with BPD, then please comment me below. I do love those comments. You know how I like me comments. Thank you. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons while you're doing things down there, whatever. So good job it's the end of the video, because I'm talking rubbish now. Anyway, I'll see you later. You take care. Bye-bye.